Hello my fellow artisans, welcome back to the Artisan Electrics channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you will subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on future videos. So I know a lot of you were sad because the Oak Studio job has come to a close and you were wondering what's next. Well, this is what's next. Welcome to the Scout Hut. So a while ago we did an EICR on this Scout Hut. Basically the customer contacted us because they were worried about the electrics, the way that they'd been left by the electrician who rewired the place. Yeah, we get that story a lot. Let me know in the comments if you've had a similar story recently. So we came in and we said, look, we need to do an EICR and just check everything out and then we can let you know what's what. So the EICR came out as a fail for various reasons, and basically it seems like what's happened is the electrician who came in did the work in quite a shoddy way, and also he didn't really finish it off. So there are a few things that are just weird and unfinished which really need finishing off, and apparently he never even sent in his final bill. So, or I don't know if he even sent in a bill at all, to be honest. It's really weird. He just sort of disappeared off the face of the earth. So we're here picking up the mess and sorting everything out, and as you can see behind me, the first part of that mess is this. So this was installed maybe a year ago or less. Do you think that's compliant? Let me know in the comments. I mean, just take a look at it and you'll see basically whoever installed it has been recycling old boards that they've ripped out of other places, it looks like, or they've just pulled a load of stuff out of their shed and bodged it together to make a new board. Because first of all, this is not compliant with the 17th edition Amendment 3 and now we're on 18th edition. It should not be made of combustible material, which it is. So it's a plastic consumer unit and it should be a metal one. So that's the first alarm bell that started ringing as soon as we saw that. But if you can see close in here as well, you'll notice that the circuit breakers are all different. You've got some of the old style Crabtree, it's a star breaker board. You've got some of the old style ones, some of the newer ones. There's one RCBO here and then a couple of RCDs. But it's all a big bodge, and look at the way the cables are up above. It's just a bit of a mess. Everything's slung in, and actually the whole board on the wall is just loose, so that needs fixing back. I'll show you inside in a minute. It's an absolute bird's nest inside as well. So first job of this particular Scout Hut job is to sort this out. I'm going to fit a new Hager RCBO consumer unit with a surge protection device. So I've got that here. It's 18 usable ways. It's got an SPD built into it, and it's going to be stacked out with RCBOs with some space for future expansion as well. So that will make that much safer already. But there's other things around this place that I want to show you. So I'll give you a little tour and show you the other things that we're going to be sorting out here. So one of the things was this socket. As you can see, the socket's cracked and it's been taped up because basically every time they use it, it trips out. So I'm going to sort that out. I'm not sure exactly what the issue is with it. Probably it's just damaged or something, but I'm going to take that off and put a new socket outlet on there. Bearing in mind this is a new installation, so this is absolutely ridiculous really. Lighting wise, you've got these emergency lights which have got test switches, but when you flick the test switches they don't activate. So I don't know how they've done it, but it's been wired up in a really dodgy way. There's this fire alarm panel which has got a fault on it. It says battery fault. So I'm going to have to look into that and try and sort that out. There's quite a few of these emergency lights dotted around, but none of them activate. We've got these lights in here, sorry for the flicker, and there's no switch for them, but they don't seem to have microwave sensors either, so they're just on all the time, and the fans are on all the time, which is not ideal. So that's 2 of those bathrooms that have got that. This one, they never even bothered to put a light up. They just left the cables hanging in connectors and put live, and the earths look a bit sort of dodgily twisted together. Main bonding. There is a main bonding conductor down here. It's probably too dark for you to see, but basically there's just a loose 10mm earth down there. There is a plastic incomer for the water, so I'm not really bothered about that, but again, it's just sort of a sign of dodginess. This I found just now in the store, which is a box full of electrical bits, probably left over by the previous electrician. What else have we got? So if we go in here, in this storeroom, this pattress has got a massive hole in it in the top. Not quite sure why, but it's dodgy, so we're going to change the pattress on that. This light fitting here has 90 volts between live and earth, so probably it's not earthed properly, so we need to sort that out, find out where the break is in the earthing. Hopefully it's something easy to fix, but got to do some investigation and fix that. I think in here it's actually okay. There is, oh yeah, there's a fire alarm system, but in some places they've just put the cables and connectors and they've not put detectors on, so I'm not quite sure what to do about that really. But need to sort of look into that as well. Then in here, again, we've got emergency lights, key switch, but key switch doesn't do anything, so we've got to sort that out. There are these emergency lights on the ceiling here. And then here, we've got preparation for a floor socket, but nothing was ever actually installed. So you've got this live cable here, just in a connector block, and it needs a floor socket on here basically, because I think they put a projector up at sometimes to watch movies and stuff. And then this cable is for an outside light that's been wired up but never connected. There's this conduit as well that goes off with a pull wire in it, and I think this conduit goes under the floor up and it comes out up there, because actually you can see that little earth wire coiled up just on top of the beam there. So not quite sure what that's about. The white FP cable that you saw in the floor there, I believe goes to here, but I've got to bell it out. Basically this should be probably the power for the outside light, but again, it's never been put on, and the outside light's never been put on either, so there's no outside light. So let me show you out here. So that's the cable for the outside light up there. So I've got to put a LED floodlight with a PIR up there. I'm going to put one of those Steinel X-LED Home XL ones, the really nice big bright LED fittings. So I'm going to mount that up, but I don't know if that cable's live or not, or if it needs fitting on the switch and a spur fitting in the floor box to actually power it up. So I've got to do some investigation there. And then while we're outside, there's another bodge here I'll show you. So these are 2 air conditioning units, and those are the cables that come from the consumer unit. Each one is on its own circuit, but look how they've been wired. So they basically just put them in connector blocks and connected the flexes up to them in these connector blocks, and then just taped the whole lot up. So it's a complete mess. So I've got to tidy this up as well. I think what I'm going to do is put a piece of 100mm cable tray along the back here, and then put rotary isolators on. A couple of rotary isolators with the flexes so that everything is done properly. So I think these cables, these twin and earth cables, will be long enough to go all the way along the back here on the cable tray, and then mount the isolators both here for these two units, and then that will sort that out. But again, it's just a complete mess. And then here I've got to replace that light because it doesn't work. I'm going to put a new Steinel XLED Home large floodlight there as well. And I just noticed this is full of condensation, so I'll probably just change that while I'm here as well. So plenty to be getting on with. I'm going to be here for a few days, so I'm going to do this video in a few parts probably, and keep you up to date with everything that's going on. As always, if you enjoy my videos, oh yeah, that light doesn't work either. So yeah, as always, if you enjoy my videos, hit a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and enjoy the video. Right, so let's just take the cover off this and I'll show you what's inside. Ooh. Right, so as you can see, it's all basically brand new wiring. You know, it is nice and new. There's one old little bit of red there, but everything else is blue and brown, brand new stuff. I don't know what this is, for example. But everything's just been slung in. There's this 6mm cable here as well. I have no idea where that's going or what it's supposed to be doing. So obviously the place has been rewired. Why would you rewire a building like this and not put a brand new consumer unit in? It's just such a bodge. Really annoys me. And I see this so often. That's the thing that's frustrating. It's not like this is a very rare occurrence. It's almost like the same story you hear over and over again. These kind of things happen. People come in, do a bodge job, cut corners, and then the customer ends up having to get the whole job redone again, basically, and paying twice for it. So it's just really frustrating. Anyway, I'm going to rip this out. We know what the circuits are already because we've done an EICR, so I can just easily label everything up, rip it all out, and then start again. I've got to fix this board back because the whole thing's loose, so I'm going to need to get some nice long screws or bolts to bolt that to the wall properly. And then I'm going to find a way to sort of neatly run in these cables. There's not that much length on them, that's the other thing that's slightly annoying. So what I might do is actually mount the consumer unit directly to the wall. Use this as actually the rear entry because that's perfect for the back of the Hager consumer unit. They have these rear entry slots which is about the same height as that. So if I mount the Hager board directly onto the wall, that'll be a lot more solid. I'll just have to put new tails in because the tails won't be long enough, but that's not a problem. And then that means most of the cables won't even be visible. The only ones that will probably just be these ones that are coming from above, which actually two of them aren't even used anyway. This one is, so I'll need to do something with that, but I could probably go in the side with a compression gland for that one. I might need to move this, which is, it looks like the thermostat, oh no, it's the air conditioning controller. But again, I mean look at that, that's just dodgy, you know, that needs sorting out really, although I bet the cable's not long enough. But anyway, I'll get the Hager board on the wall and then do everything nice and neatly, and it should be a much better job.